All right, we are talking on Mornings at 10 all about New Year's resolutions. And one of the biggest and most common resolutions that we hear is we got to make more money, especially in this time where prices are going up, inflation, cost of living, and yet the conversation still seems so tough and so uncomfortable. But lucky for us, we have an etiquette expert joining us, Myka Meier. Thank you so much for being willing to talk to us about this, because I find it so interesting that this is such a shared experience for all of us. We need to make more money. Life is expensive. So I'm wondering, why does it feel still like taboo? Why does it still feel so uncomfortable to have this conversation?
I think it's just innately, you're asking for money. It's an awkward situation. You're afraid of rejection. There's actually, in 2023, a statistic came out that said 32% of people were afraid to ask for a raise, so then they just didn't. So it's fear. It's really, they weigh in the economic climate, rejection, and then they end up not asking at all.
Okay, that rejection factor, that actually does make a lot of sense. But I love that you actually wrote a business etiquette book, and there's almost a little bit of science to it. You're telling me that there is a time of day, there's an environment that you can create to maybe lower that chance of rejection and maybe empower you to get in your boss's office and ask. Can you talk about like some of those parameters that you recommend?
Absolutely. So the first thing is you miss, it's an old saying, but it's so true. You miss 100% of those hoop shots you don't take. So that's the first thing. And now make sure you go in after you've achieved something. And usually that's at the end of the year when goals are in. Did you smash your goals? Then this is the perfect time to do so. But interestingly, the best day of the week to ask for a raise is either a Thursday or a Friday, when people are typically in better moods. The heavy lifting of the week is over.
Yeah, that's so smart.
Right? And then also 10 a.m. is officially the best time if you have a choice when it comes to a meeting time. 10 a.m. So it's right after they've checked their emails, they made their initial kind of emergency phone calls, and it's before all the weight of the day kind of lands on their lap. So 10 a.m. is the magic sweet spot.
That is really interesting. Okay, let's do some role play. You're my boss. I'm asking for a raise. It is a Thursday morning. It's at 10 a.m. I walk into your office and say, I just crushed my year goals, but my wallet is empty. I got more lint than dollars. Can I have some more money? Is that the conversation, or how do you finesse this?
Do you know, I really think making it, if you make something a big deal, it becomes a big deal. So if you walk in and you don't have confidence, what I love there is you came in with some serious confidence. And I love that. It's like, this is what I can offer you. This is what I've done. So I love going in with the confidence. I think the timing is everything. And I think going in and literally being ready to almost pitch yourself. What did you bring to the company? What did you bring to your team? What are you going to do next year that's going to make them want to keep you on and give you that raise? So I think it's being prepared and coming in with all that kind of armory ready to go.
Is there a polite percentage, if you will? All of us, of course, would love to double our pay, but is there a realistic goal, or is it case by case?
I do think it's case by case. The average increase is still 8% for a raise, but I always say go higher than that, because they might shoot a little bit lower. They're going to want to negotiate. So go 15% and let them bring you down to 10.
I love that. I love that you're giving us tools to maybe feel a little bit more empowered. Do you think that even with the intimidation, even though it feels awkward, it's still worth having the conversation, in your opinion, right?
100%, because often people who don't get raises, it's because they just didn't try, they didn't have the confidence to ask. And at the end of the day, if you're doing a good job, then you deserve a raise after a certain amount of time. And a lot of people stay complacent, they are fearful of not being given the raise, so they just don't ask. And at the end of the day, it's important to just go in and try. Just make sure that you are going in, if at the end of the year the company hasn't done so well, then I would wait until the end of Q1 to go in for that raise conversation, because you don't want to go in when the company's kind of struggling or they've just gotten bad news.
Oh my gosh, so smart. Thank you so much. I think it's important that we all need to remember our worth and be willing to ask for it. You just need a couple tools to help that conversation go smoother, and I think you gave that to us. Myka, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully we can maybe use some of these tips in the new year here. All right.